Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scott, and Rogers. This is Video Friday, and this is episode 3 of the Video Friday series. We have a special guest with us today, Claire Peak, friend of the Doctrine, wearer of a Wakefield Doctrine hat with the Clark in red. And we're doing something a little bit different with this one. We've done interviews with friends of Doctrines and Downsprings and such. And normally they're in the dashboard, as we say, on the phone, and we talk and have a normal conversation. Claire, however, lives way over on the other side of the planet, big time zone difference. So we thought we would try something, at least initially, a little bit different, which is I'm doing this half, and Claire is sitting there listening to this, even now in a metaphysical sense. She'll explain what she means by that, or I mean by that. So she's listening to the tape, and she will give us a response, and we'll type them in, and the letters should be showing up even as I speak this now, or rather, even as you listen to those words come out of the tape in the future, next Friday. Anyway, hi Claire. How are you? Can you type something in Swedish? How would you say, this is a lovely car and my hat is beautiful? I hope these pauses are sufficient for the repartee aspect of this. On to the regular part of the interview. We'll have to watch our time. We'll do multiple segments. You're a writing person. We met you, I believe, on Hub Pages, where you have mad blogs. Claire Peak's World, Wordy World, Perfect World, a number of places that are all listed to the right of this this post in the blog roll. Go there, listen, read. So, Claire, what do you like the most about the Doctrine? What do you not like the most about the Doctrine? See, I have the advantage of inflection. We can't even do damned italics, but so the not so much what gives you the trouble. We all have trouble with different aspects of the Doctrine, but what do you find the most disquieting aspect, implication, something out of the Doctrine now that you know about it? Well, that's certainly, I hadn't heard that before. So you're over in Sweden. Question. So we're doing this in English, and this is a really stupid question. So this is, I know the WordPress claims that there's a translate button on the bottom of this post. So if I were writing these words, and your words should get translated. However, the voice is coming out in English, obviously. Are there any translating things for audio that you're aware of in the blogs? And as a follow-up, I probably should ask the question that the thing about our culture over on this side of the planet is we do tend to be kind of monolingual. I speak English and Doctrine. That's it. I gather from reading your posts, there's a couple of languages going on over there. Is that pretty much the case? So I guess I'm saying in the Doctrine-centric sense, should we be looking to do audio translations or just rely on the people who would be coming to us first can understand what we're saying, well, at least understand the English words? Speaking of that, we'll jump around a little bit. I'm going to keep this segment short. You know, Molly's over in the big square state in the western part of the country. You two are the new generation, along with Nell. A big shout out to Nell Rose over in London, UK. I'm drawing a blank on this, and I'm not sure how that'll translate. You're going back to school. Boy, this is this is a garbled one. So. How do you, one of the standard questions we used to do, I'll do that and we'll end this segment. So Claire, if you were to find somebody that didn't know about the Doctrine, how would you go about explaining to them? Let's say you're standing in line at the coffee shop, which means you have probably a minute to tell a person, because they've got their change and they're headed towards the door, and you're 2 people back from the coffee counter, which means you've probably got 45 seconds to a minute to say, hey, this doctrine thing. How would you explain the doctrine in a way that you feel would make them likely to go and come to read it? Okay. And I'm doing this with the assumption that you can interject. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So that's a good question. I kind of like that, and we'll come back in part 2. Will be 3 parts, I think. We'll come back in part 2 and ask some questions about your perspective of the doctrine, because that's really where a lot of attention's going these days. How is the doctrine coming across to the people, the newer of the people, you and Molly? So we'll be back after this short break.